Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah Smith, and I am so excited to have you here because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to join us today. And I guess you say it is fourth Saturday. What's going on? Hey, it's Real Talk with Deborah and Dan this morning. Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Good morning. I am great. And you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I know most people should already know you, but if you can tell them a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Well, first of all, my name is Dan Smith. I am the husband of course, Deborah D. Smith. I'm a retired law enforcement officer after serving 40 years. After that, I picked up two businesses. I have a handyman service, a lawn service, and I am the chairman of my deacon board at my church, St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church. I'm just glad to be here. And have lovely children, four kids, 7 grandkids, and all of them are precious.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, 2024 is all about Blueprint for Success, and we're continuing that this month. Our theme is Blueprint for Mothers and Sons. Our topic today, good morning, Angela. Thank you for tuning in. And I gave some shout outs on Thursday. And I think I saw something on Facebook. Did you had a graduate? And if you did, if you could please put that information in the chat for me, I would greatly appreciate it. But this morning we're gonna continue with our real talk, and our topic for today is it's a boy. It's a boy. No, oh, when you have those babies, they can bring you so much joy. That's with the first one and all the ones that come after. Many years ago, moms and dads were sometimes on pins and needles wondering if it was going to be a girl or if it was going to be a boy. They had no way of knowing. So parents rushed out and they either purchased a lot of pink, a lot of blue and sports items, sometimes a little bit of both. Thank God for medical breakthroughs. Now there is no guesswork. You can find out the gender ahead of time. All these gender reveals, right? Well, I have always heard people have gender discussions, talking about, boys, girls. And I became curious as to, really when you get down to it, is it that in marriages, the dads are really wanting that son, the mom's really wanting the daughter, or some are just praying for a healthy child? So I kind of did a little research, which I'll talk about a little later. But today we want to talk about some myths versus some facts. Myths versus facts. And I know I said I was going to talk about it a little later, but let me go ahead and throw out these stats to you, because I found that this was kind of amazing. But I always thought it was, for the sons. So 47% prefer a son, 21% prefer a daughter, and then 32% they have no preference. And I'm thinking the majority of those are just saying, God, please let us have a healthy baby. But we're going to talk about some myths and some facts, and I guess some opinions here now. So, myth. When I asked Dan, can you interact with me whether you think these things are, excuse me, myths or facts? The first one is that men prefer boys because a lot of times they want to fulfill the passion that they fail to achieve in life. Is that a myth or a fact?
I believe that's a myth. Because majority of men, when you want a boy, you want boys so you can carry on the names. So it wouldn't be what you have not achieved or anything like that, but it's to carry on the family name. So I believe that number one, that's a myth.
Okay. I'm very interested to see what y'all are thinking out there. Put it in the chat if you have an opinion. Good morning, Agnes. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, the second one. Moms want to create soft boys who depend on them. Now, a lot of people say that mama's boy, mama's boy. So is that a fact or a myth that mamas want to create soft boys that will always depend on them?
Well, I'm gonna go on and say that's a myth because mamas want boys to, and doing the ones I've been around, they want to be successful in life, be independent in life, not necessarily make them soft. Uh, all the ladies that I know, they make sure their boys know how to do different things before they leave home. For instance, like my mom, hey, I know how to cook, clean up, wash. So there wasn't no softness about it. I had to talk. She taught me everything because her main thing was, okay, you could stay by yourself or be out there by yourself. So you never know what you have to do for yourself. So I'm not going to agree. That, I believe just that's a myth. I mean, most moms don't want their boy to be soft. Most of them want to be sturdy, strong men. So, you know, And that's most of them I've seen that way. Most parents, that's what they want their son to be.
Awesome, awesome. And I can speak for myself, I don't want my sons to depend on me. I more or less want them to, but know that they can show their emotions now. But, that's another thing. But I want to build them up to be successful men, not only for themselves, but for the families, hopefully, that they would have in the future, which they all do now. So I was teaching them things that would help them in that household. Like it's, not these are your chores and these are my chores, but you work as a team. So I didn't want my sons to be soft. I wanted them to, know how to love and respect young ladies. And like you said, your mom taught you different things to teach them how to cook, how to iron, how to wash. They can do those things so they can be a team player. They can, take care of themselves. So I agree. And I think Angela also agreed that that is a myth. And Angela, don't forget, if I think I saw maybe if you have a graduate this year, if so, if you could put the information in the comments for me. All right, here's another one. Myth or fact, Dan? Moms are nurturing and supportive. They aim to be proactive in teaching their sons how to be independent, respectful, ethical men.
Uh, I'm gonna be a little split on that, but I think that's a fact because I'm an example like you, our boys. The way you talk them, be proactive, respectful, independent. So I'm gonna go along and say that's a fact. If you're spending time, okay, let me reverse a little bit. If you got time, you spending time with the moms spending time with their sons. I'm gonna say that's a fact. Moms that do not spend time with their son, they're gonna be a myth. And why I'm split on that is because you got to spend time with your sons in order to achieve the independence, respect, and being an ethical man. If you don't have that type of a relationship with your son, or you showing him there, if not that, just put him out there by himself. He's learning from other areas, outside friends, peers, other relationships that he might be seeing out there, and that cause that cause a big problem. So yes, most I'm gonna say it high. I'm gonna say 80% of moms are nurturing and supported. Now I might be a little off in my percentage, but I think I'm pretty close to that percentage. Being out there in the law enforcement and, talking with a lot of young men and intervening in a lot of parents' homes, single parent homes where you just had the mom. Uh, and, whether they was being home or they were being away from home, it make a difference. It make a whole lot of difference.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad, I know it's your perspective, your opinion, and I agree. And, it is wonderful if it is 80% or higher because, you know, I believe that uh, with sons, they need their dads because there's some things that only their dads can teach them. And then their moms need to be there as well because there are some things that a mom knows about another lady that they can instill in their sons and help them so they will know how to react, when they have those serious relationships like marriage or dating, fiancés, that nature. So giving them that perspective of how they need to treat young ladies, be respectful, do teamwork and all of this. So I agree. And I think that's a really, really important one.
But I'm a roll back because I look in my growing in my when I was growing up, my dad worked two jobs, so mom had a stronger hand in my life. My father, he taught me things, when he was there, he showed me things. But I hear a lot about uh, the father's not involved with the son or whatever, and the mom say, well, you need to be involved with the son. But if that mother has a strong hand and she's stern, I mean, she can really develop her son. Because I'm gonna tell you, my mom 5'2", probably about 115, 20 pounds. Here I am 5'11" and a half, weighing 200 pounds, and hey, I was scared of that lady. So
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's right. Moment in play. All right. If you just joined us, we are talking about It's a Boy is our topic, and we're talking about facts or myths relating to our moms and sons and how they interact with each other. Okay, this one, moms and dads often clash on how to raise sons.
that's a fact. Why I say that's a fact because I'm gonna give me and you as an example. Some things I listen to you tell my sons, I don't agree with you, but I'm not gonna clash with you on it. But the way I handle it is when I see when their boys get together, we get together, and then I talk to them in a different area and find out what they're doing, how they're doing, having any problems, anything I can help them with, and I sort of do a reversal role on them, because some of the things I might not agree. I guess I have most. I guess I have a little bit more insight than mom would by being, out there in law enforcement. You see a whole lot of different things, and my key things I had, deal with a whole lot of juveniles, young men's, older men's. I didn't have too much problem with them, but young men's and juveniles, and I hear their stories, and I get them to talking, and they talk to me, but they also respected me. So that's one of the things that I found. So yeah, that's a fact. We're gonna clash, but the thing about it is, how do you handle that? Do you do it verbally? Do you come out and do it? Or do you just do a reversal role? And I think the easiest way to do it is a reversal role. Not putting back down in what the mothers say, but it's just, put your facts in there. Put the father facts in there too.
So, in other words, your mom said this, however, she's not a male, so males, we have a different perspective. Something like that. Is that what you mean when you say reversal?
No, the way I handle it, I do not say mom said this. Well, what's going on? Well, Dad, I think so and so this, but mom told me this. I said, well, son, you got to handle it. You got to be, man, you want my perspective by it? And that's the way I go at it that way. I don't go by saying what mom says this. And I think I like to be proactive. I don't want to go back and just bring up what mom said. I got to listen. And that's one of the key things. You got to listen to what your sons are saying so you can be able to give them directions. But I guess number one thing, you got to be a God-fearing man yourself. The man has to be a God-fearing man in order to give your sons correct facts. Because if you're not a God-fearing man, you can just give them something that is not going to help them. And that's not good for them. And I don't want to never say, well, Dad don't know what he's talking about. Mom knows what you're talking about. So that's in that order right there. Not necessarily, I wouldn't use mom says, because that's not the best way to be proactive to a situation where just reacting to what you have said. Put it like that.
Okay, I got it.
You got it? All right.
Good perspective. All right. These are going in real fast. Okay, another one. Men have a problem with their sons showing emotion.
You know, I see. I'm gonna say, if I say that's a myth, if I use percentage, then I'm gonna say it's right down, split down the middle. Uh, Facts is that hey, I had no problem. You could cry, you cry. You're a man, you can cry. You know, your emotions, show them. You know, don't hold them in, because it can mentally, it can give you affect you that way. So yeah, nah, I don't have no problems with my son showing emotions. I really don't, because you can show your emotions in order to diffuse the situation, or in order to move on past that situation, and then to not show your emotions and hold that situation within in yourself, or within your heart, or within your mind. And that'll carries on for a while, and it could make you angry. uh it could cause some mental problems. It could cause you to break down. But I see, really showing emotions, there's no problem. You need to show your emotion. You got to cry sometime, you know.
Okay. Now, see, if I had to have made a decision on this one, I would have said it was a fact, because I think the majority of the young men that I've run into, thank you, Kyrie. Good morning. Okay, Kyrie says, "Sir," and her husband agree with you. But I know a lot of times I've heard, seen it, like even with, I don't know, in sports, at church, or whatever, and man up, man up, yeah, man up, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. And yeah, emotions, everybody has emotions, everyone is supposed to use those emotions, so it's okay to cry, it's okay to yell, it's okay to be angry. All those are emotions, but you just don't get there and stay there. It's if something touches you and hey, tears come, they come. That doesn't make you soft, that doesn't make you feminine acting, that doesn't make you less than. You're still a person and you're displaying your emotions, but like you said, if you're not allowed to, or you feel like, well, I can't cry, you still have that pain and it's still inside you, and it can cause issues like mental health issues or other things, and you show your anger in another way. You can't get it out by showing those emotions. You got to be like tough. um, how do you get that out? I know there's a religion, it may be more than one, and this is not even just the males, but this is males and females. They're not supposed to cry. And I remember as a young child traveling and going to this funeral, and the young man had died tragically in a car accident. And one of his sisters, the tears just began to fall, and just we don't do that. Dry up your tears. And I mean, I think that's so hard and as well as harsh to tell somebody, you can't do that, because that's something that is not that's involuntary. It just comes. So, I can see both perspectives, but I have seen a lot of men saying, "Suck it up, suck it up."
But you was talking about a funeral. I was at the funeral at our church, and the young man, I guess this guy probably maybe early 40s. He was back there. He had emotions. He wasn't letting the tears flow. So, I grabbed him by the hand. I talked. I said, "Let it go." I let it go. I put him close to me. I hugged him. He let it go. I said, "She's gone. Let your emotion go. Cry. Don't worry about what people say." You know. And this guy literally, I mean, he cried for a few minutes. And then he looked at me now. He said, "Sir, I thank you. I don't know you, but I thank you." So I say, it's nothing wrong with you crying. So he appreciated, and he had came out of the service because I guess he didn't want other people to see him cry. But he came out of the service, and I back there in the back with him, and he showed his emotions, and I told him let it go. I mean, you just can't hold it back. You got to let it go.
All right. I agree. So I think this is some good dialogue and facts versus myths. Is there anything else that pops off that is one that you can think about as we're talking about this topic?
I'm still go back showing the emotions. I always tell young men, as I say, let it go, show your emotions, because you don't want it to build up in you. Let me roll back. I'm gonna go back. Wow. I had this young man. He was trespassing. Talked to him, and as I was talking to him, he said, "I got to do what I got to do." So, okay, now why is this guy saying this? In my mind, I'm asking myself, why is this guy saying this? Something ain't right. Something he didn't do. Something happened. He finally come out and told me my mother died years ago. This guy was a outstanding student, brilliant young man, but he held that emotion in when his mother passed. He could not accept the loss. So he was out there just walking around. And, I tried to talk to him. I did talk to him, but I seen him a few times, during my patrolling after that, him coming on the trespassing, he's calling me on the incident. And he still hadn't come out of that yet. So, people, guys can tell, hey, man, suck it up. No, don't suck it up. Let it go. Go ahead and cry. There's no problem with that. But, then you go back and you look at my grandson, he fall off. Okay. Hey, man, you hurt this, got your knee up. He crying. I said, all right, let's see if we need to rub it. I said, when you finish crying and you get on up, let's do it again. So I didn't ever say, don't cry, suck it up, whatever. I said, when you finish crying, get up, let's do it again. And that way, we talking about less tears, and they're almost immediately ready to get up and let's go again.
All right.
So those things like that, you have to be able to react to situations that comes upon you. And, I have, by being law enforcement, by being a deacon in the church, a lot of situation comes up, and I thank God that I was able to react to different situations and to be able to handle different situations. And I think it worked out pretty good. So, yes.
All right. Great insight. This has been a great talk about It's a Boy, and, whether families prefer sons over daughters, and then those things that are facts are myths relating to the relationships. So it's been a great conversation. If you did not get the entire broadcast, please go back and look at the rewind on Facebook or YouTube. I think it was a great topic. So I thank you, Dan, for stepping in and having this real talk with me this morning.
No problem. I appreciate you asking me to step in.
And good morning, Peggy and Catherine. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please join us on Tuesday, May the 28th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our topic is going to be amazing versus priceless. That's our blueprint for success. And it's going to be amazing versus priceless. You don't want to miss it. So please join us. Please visit our website at www.buildyourbestlife.org. Check up on our calendar. We got a big event coming up next month. I'm not going to tell you about it today, but I'll be talking about it next week. But check out that calendar, and don't forget to read the blog that comes out. Deacon Dan, do you have anything else you want to say before I close out?
Well, I just say thank you for it, and I wish you, this conversation we talk could be a long conversation. It could be long because there's more that need to be gotten out in this, uh, and that it will help someone, and I hope it helps someone. This 30 minutes that we did today, I think it could turn into easily come into an hour, 2 hours, but staying focused. That's why I encourage fathers, stay focused. Uh, talk with your young men. You don't have to be a father. You can be, a figure in the church. Uh, they call me in the church. They call me Papa Dan. The young ladies call me Papa Dan. Some of them call me Daddy Dan. And those things, that it's not that popularity is what I'm looking for. I just want them to be, great people, doing great things, working together and loving one another. And that's one of the biggest things I see we need now. We need more love, more love.
I agree. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, you know that this year, Build Your Best Life is declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over your life. God knows the plans that He has for you. He wants you to have what? Put it in the chat. He wants you to have prosperity, and He also wants you to have hope for the future. So please design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has for you. Put in the work and build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Please be safe over this Memorial Day long weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Enjoy. Rest. And I remember I love you, and I'll be here Tuesday. Bye bye.
See y'all later.